What's that thing? The xylophone?
Yes.
Ding, dong, 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 dong.
Ding dong,
I learned
dong,
how
dong.
I learned how to play
That's a
Mary.
xylophone.
Xylophone, yeah. I learned how to play Mary. Mary had a little lamb on that.
Did you?
Yeah. I self-taught.
Wow.
I was a self-taught xylophone aficionado.
You started playing it, and they said, "Oh my God,
Everybody
prophecy!"
Everybody raved. Everybody.
Was everyone raving?
There was like 12 people in the room with me, and they were like, "No fucking way." There was a couple of. You could tell there was like FBI agents.
Someone get the president.
Yeah.
This kid can xylo.
Play the xylophone.
I haven't seen a xylophonist like that since I don't know when.
Looks like we found the prophecy.
Looks like we found the next Ludwig Goop Goblin.
The Ludwig Goob Goblin.
Oh, God. What a week it's been.
What a couple 3 weeks it's been
I know.
of just
The hawks have been on their branches peering away.
just yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, we've been in the nest,
Yeah, we have.
and people are angry. People are raging.
Dude, people are pissed.
If we were the machine, people are raging against us.
Yeah. Sometimes. Never mind.
What? What were you gonna say?
No, it's just too much.
Go for it.
We'll get canceled.
Oh, who's gonna stop us?
Gutfeld.
We're uncancelable. Gutfeld. Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, we had within the last 3 weeks we've had a Buc-ee's trip. We've had a Buc-ee's hotel night.
And we watched Gutfeld
And we
for the
watched
first time.
Gutfeld.
And then we also saw Newsmax. No, what is it?
Wow. Yeah, Newsmax.
And it was the most balanced news we've ever seen in our lives. It
Yeah.
was just two women who were clearly great at their jobs, who had studied the facts of their profession,
Yeah.
and they just talked about politics pretty non-biasedly.
Yeah. They literally informed us of everything going on without inserting their own opinion on it at all.
They weren't wearing that much makeup.
No, I don't even think you could see their crow's feet from a mile away.
True wisdom.
Yeah.
And then we turned the channel to Fox News, and it was like, oh, I guess those guys want to hold hands because they're getting trans people in bathrooms. Tits, tits, tits.
He literally brought up Lizzo at a point and was like, "You fat, ugly pig." And it was like, what?
And then we turned back to Newsmax. It was like, in the Middle East, there are differing opinions on how to move forward.
They are, in fact, negotiating with Iran on how to
It
get
was
the 9
so smart
hostages
that
out.
I don't know any of the words they said.
Yeah. Yeah, they were throwing out words that we were like,
And that's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, Gutfeld was much more entertaining.
Way better.
Yeah.
TMZ. It was TMZ.
It was TMZ.
It was just straight up. Because they were talking about entertainment. They weren't talking about politics.
Yeah, it was like the usual suspects.
Yeah. Newsmax, they were like talking about like, yeah, there's 9 hostages in Iran right now, and the UN is negotiating on how we're going to get them back.
And
then
here
it went over
is
to
a field expert that knows more about it than we do.
yeah. And then it
And
went over to
I-
Gutfeld, and he was
whoa.
like, "I bet half of those hostages are gay anyway."
Yeah.
It's like, God,
Wait,
what the hell?
did you tie the hostages together by their cocks? Sell, sell, sell.
Crazy.
Yeah, but we went to Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
I got this shirt.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
been complimenting because it glows in the dark.
I forgot it glows in the dark.
It's a ghost squirrel.
It's a great
It's a ghost beaver.
ghost beaver.
That's what they call my dead mama's pussy. Ghost beaver. You can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't. It's off the dome, and not enough people give us credit for that.
Yeah.
I'm more of a crow. I keep doing crow.
Dude, you gotta stop with the crow. Everyone's gonna be mad confused. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm such a baby hawk, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a baby hawk. I'm new to the flock.
Yeah.
Baby hawk, new to the flock.
That would be a great t-shirt.
Yeah.
Baby hawk, and then like on the back, new to the flock. And then just kind of looking behind, kind of winking.
Every time somebody's like, "Nice shirt," I go, "Ah!"
Yeah. Wow, Patrick's so different these days.
But in 10 years, I'll be screeching.
Dude, coffee shop. We went to coffee shop before this to get our coffees. Vibe was off.
Oh my goodness, like a library. I was scared
But
to talk. Full. Probably 42 people at least. Just a full coffee shop. And not one of them making a frickin' ruckus.
No, in fact, we saw someone that we know,
Mm-hmm.
and him and I were chatting it up, and this guy next to him was like staring daggers.
We mentioned he
That
went,
it was
he went, yeah, it's really silent here, and he went, ah. He literally looked at you like, ah.
yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
And you're disrupting that.
Yeah.
And then he chased us out. He actually followed us out to make sure we were gone.
It was like 12:15 at night.
Yeah. It was. I was scared we were gonna be shushed.
Dude, I had a good barista today. I've been going to Banu a lot. I'm really trying to befriend everybody there.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, you saw probably the most interaction that guy and I had. Mm-hmm. One time, I went to Banu and I was crying and got him. And
How'd that go?
he was sweet.
Was it a good cry or a bad cry?
No, it was rough.
It was a rough, just a life cry. Like
it was just like everything added up on that day.
like
and then a little part of me was like, I want to go into this coffee shop with tears just so someone will ask. Just so.
That's the saddest.
Yeah.
That's the saddest part of it all.
Yeah. I was like rubbing my eyes a lot to get them more red.
Just pinching yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was nice. And then the guy that
Did he come up to you like?
No, I ordered
Hi.
my coffee and he was like, "All right, man, you have a good one." And then today I came in with totally different energy. I went, "Bee-bop-bop."
Fatty McDoodle is here.
Fatty McDoodle, why do you not talk about being fat all the time? That is the only thing that you are worth.
You're a big fat man. You not talk about being fat. I don't get it.
Fatty McDoodle, I am from Minnesota. Why do you not eat a cheeseburger and flap your wings?
Just bring 6-piece McNugget on stage and
Fatty,
toss to the crowd. Toss cheeseburgers to crowd.
Fatty McDoodle, let me hit you in the belly.
Take off shirt. Run around like a pig.
Fatty McDoodle, take off your shirt and cry. I want to see it.
Squeal and cry.
Squeal and cry
Fatty
for me like Fatty McDoodle does.
Do what Fatty McDoodle do and
Do
squeal and
do
cry.
not tell me how you feel, you freak. We want Fatty McDoodle to dance.
You play kickball?
Who wants a sugar cube?
Quick, lower him off stage. He's not talking about being fat.
He's
Get
not
off stage.
Hey, speed these up, Fatty McDoodle.
Off
Go on.
stage. Get off stage,
Get
fat man.
Someone bring in the crane. Fatty McDoodle is...
Roll him downstairs.
Why, Fatty McDoodle, why do you talk about anything else than your weight? We do not want to hear it.
It's like he speaks new language by not being fat.
When
Fatty, you go on stage and speak cheeseburger to me.
my wife does not talk about being fat because he is not Fatty McDoodle. I want to shoot a milkshake off of your head.
You speak to a religion to me, but you are fat man. And God do not love you.
Fatty McDoodle, you are not a man that deserves nuance.
No flowers for you, Fatty McDoodle.
Fatty McDoodle, the only way you could have a flower is the flour you used to bake. Fatty McDoodle, I bought you flour.
Flour
Oh,
tortilla.
you bought me flour? Yes. A 5-pound bag of white enriched flour.
Flour. I bought you 20-pack of flour tortillas, you fat man.
If I did not care about you, then why did I bring you 5,000 tortillas? and tell you to eat all of them in front of me now.
Now take off your pants and let me spank you with flour tortillas.
Yeah, Fatty McDodo. This is what we want.
Everybody, grab a flour tortilla and whip at the fat man.
Everyone throw their apples, and we will have Fatty McDodo make a pie.
Glaze him up, everybody. Grab a brush and glaze up Fatty McDodo.
Fatty McDodo, you are no captain. This is my inner this is my inner monologue every time before I go on stage. What gives you that fucking right?
There is somebody watching who's like, what are they doing? What happened?
Dude, I went up and I talked in my second set tonight. It was just silence. And people started talking amongst themselves that I was bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, this guy here, what is he doing? The rest of the show was so good. And I went, hey, everybody. I was just being weird.
Yeah. For everyone who doesn't know, that was our impression of the crowd when Dylan's on stage,
They went,
not talking about being fat.
why?
When you have real opinions. Fatty McDodo has opinions.
You do not speak of love in front of me. You speak of crackers, chips.
Oh, sad. He doesn't know that the only love he'll have is food. He speak not of food right now.
Fatty McDodo, have you seen the Ratatouille?
Why not bring trough on stage and eat for us, Fatty?
Fatty McDodo, you are so fucking fat that why would you talk about anything? You
Fatty, there's no refrigerator here. Why you not at the refrigerator?
Why is this man here? Fatty McDodo, fall off that chair.
But
Dude, I once had an improv teacher. I took improv at the Groundlings.
yeah.
And there was a scene where, like, I got hit or something. And he's like, and then I fell. So I hit against the wall and fell.
Yeah.
And then he stopped the scene. This guy hated me, by the way.
Your improv teacher.
My improv teacher hated my guts. He stops the class and he goes, Dylan, that fall was pretty funny. Next time, I want you to fall for real. And then the next scene I did, I fell for real.
Like just limp body through yourself?
Yeah. Like
So he was like, I want you to hurt yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. He said, Fatty McDodo. You know what improv is missing? Realism.
He didn't like that you protected yourself when you fell.
Yeah. At a Groundlings improv class with 8 people
Wow.
in a room, there was no audience.
Yeah. Wow.
He said, fall for real.
Not use real emotion. Nothing. Just fall. Fall for
I
real.
want you to do that again. But I want it to hurt.
I want a bruise.
Do you want to get past to improv level 2, you fat fuck?
When was that? How old were you?
This was like maybe 2019, 2020.
Oh, not even that long ago.
Yeah.
What's Groundling?
It's a infamous improv school
Infamous,
in theater. Yeah, a lot of like SNL people came up through Groundlings.
Oh, interesting. Is it in Chicago?
No, it's in LA.
Oh, okay.
And he hated me.
How long were you there for?
I was there. I just did the one class, and then so at the
Yeah.
at the end of the class, he would tell you because you like either passed and got moved on to the next level, or you had to take it again.
Interesting.
And this guy fucking hated me. but I fell for him. So he called me in the office and he went, Dylan, I swear to God, it was like he was just trying to like get in my head. He was like, Dylan, you're kind of funny, but you lack, what did he say? He said, you lack the skill.
What?
And then he said, and against my better judgment, I'm going to pass you. And he went like, it was like, he was like, he couldn't deny that I was funny.
But he fucking hated you.
But he fucking
Against my
hated
better
me.
judgment is crazy.
Against my better judgment. I was like, I don't want to take this improv.
After one class.
Yeah.
After one
But
class.
he was talking to me like, I've got you, motherfucker. I've got you for 4 more improv classes.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I really don't want to do improv that much anymore. You kind of ruined it.
That's so funny to be like, against my better judgment.
Everyone would laugh at something I did, and you'd be like, yeah, that. It's kind of like you were trying.
You were a hack at improv. In his
Yeah.
head, you were a hack.
Hey, Dylan, what did I say? I said actually fall.
Fall.
It was like a
You're doing a monologue. He's like, fall,
Dylan. Because I told him the first day we were all in a circle talking about ourselves and like our backgrounds, and I had mentioned that I was a door guy at the Comedy Store. And he went, oh really? I used to go to the Comedy Store. Mitzi never passed me.
Oh, no fucking way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He hated me.
He had a
after.
fucking villain origin story.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He hated me.
And he became an improv teacher.
And he took it out all on me. And he's like 65. He was like 65 years old.
I'm picturing like Willem Dafoe.
And he's like, you think you're awesome, don't you? I was like, no, I'm in improv 1. He's just doing this to kind of
just a hobby.
try something new.
Yeah. I just wanted to get out more.
Meet friends. And he went, you really think you have what it takes, you fat sack of shit?
It was the first case of Fatty McDoodoo.
I know.
Fatty McDoodoo, you fall.
You fall.
You fall for real.
Break your ankle.
Jump up and dive down.
Yeah, so
Head first.
that was my improv experience.
Wow. That's fucking amazing.
I had so much fun, except for that guy.
Yeah.
Every time I did well, he would like, like, oh,
Oh, Dylan do good again. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe he was kind of right, though, because maybe you were just trying to be funny, and that's not the spirit of improv. Improv is supposed to be accidentally funny, maybe?
yeah. But I took a look around. I think more people should have tried.
I would love to go. We should go to an improv class. I'd love to go to an improv class.
No, I finally started to get it because that is true. Like part of the improvisational comedy and part for stand-up, especially when you're doing something like bittier, is to really not allude to like at all. Like
Right.
part of the reason Michael Scott's character in Office is so funny is because he really sells it and he's like unaware that he never like delivers it like a joke.
It's all ironic.
And yeah, that guy
Just hated you.
just hated my guts. But not enough to where he didn't pass me on. But it's like when a police chief like calls you into his office and he's like, I should send you back to Nam, you cocksucker. But god damn it, you caught him. Get the hell out of my office before I change my mind.
Yeah, but you didn't do it his way. So he's mad.
He was like, and also that next class will be $400.
Was he the teacher of the next class? Was he the teacher of all 4 steps?
No, he was just level 1.
That's even better. He was just a level 1 improv guy.
I think he's been there for a while. I think he is a good teacher and whatever. But
yeah. Well, Mitzi never passed him, so
well, I
clearly he wasn't.
I've had a
killing it.
lot of teachers like that. Like majority teachers really liked me, and that's how I kind of skated by school and stuff. But because I had so many teachers that liked me, the ones who didn't were like demon spawn level. I hate you
Yeah.
so much.
Just Bane.
Yeah, because everyone else liked me, so they were like,
It is crazy for a teacher to just be mean to you.
yeah,
Because teachers can just be mean, and then you're a victim. Everyone victim blames you. Because I remember all through like elementary school, I'd have mean teachers, and I'd tell everybody, and they'd be like, "Oh, stop it.
yeah.
Miss Bridge didn't hit you in your stomach."
Well, especially when you have a little bit of a reputation for being like a class clown or whatever.
Yeah.
Then those teachers see that and go, "Well, it's Dylan." Well, try to joke your way out of this pit of snakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was weird because it's like, also, dude, it's like you're teaching me history. You know? You're teaching me 9th grade history.
Yeah. And you're just being a little...
And you're like using it to be Machiavellian.
Yeah. Yeah. There was one time Miss Yaniak in 6th grade.
That's not her name, was it?
It was Miss Yaniak. That was her name. She was something. She made it like an impossible math equation on the board, and she just went, "Patrick, go up and solve that." And I just stood there at the board staring at the problem, and I just looked at her and I was like, "I don't know it." And she went, "Ha!" And like the whole class like was like, "Yeah." And they like laughed at me. And then she sent up another kid, Garrett, to solve it.
Was Garrett like star student?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
She sent up like the smartest kid, and he was like, and she was like, oh, did you know that with ease? You didn't even, and he showed his work, and I just sat there, and she was like, she like made the class be like, everyone's shame Patrick, pretty much. I always had mean teachers, but I was a bad kid.
I had Miss Bush.
Miss Bush.
Yeah. 1st grade teacher. She's like 900 years old and just mean as fuck. And one day I accidentally broke my pencil and she said, "You did it on purpose." You did it on purpose. You are bad. You are bad.
Why would you break your pencil on purpose? Did you?
I don't think so. But then I remember the biggest one was she had this book, and the book was it was like to teach kids about nutrition. So it'd have like these little goblin things, and each page was a different scenario of which one you should pick if presented with 2 food options. So one of the questions was, so is the hot dog healthier to eat or the lean slice of ham? And then she just like, "Oh, Dylan, what is it? Which one's healthier?" Oh. And I went, and I'm in 1st grade, and I went, "The hot dog." And she went, "No, Dylan. No, you really think the hot dog is the healthier option than the slice of ham? Really?"
Not teaching you.
Yeah.
Not being like, no, it's actually, you would think.
No, she went, "You 6-year-old idiot."
Were you fat? Were you a fat kid?
Yeah, I mean, I was already a little chubby. And she
She singled you out.
pinked it out. I'm pretty sure she didn't ask anyone else any of the other questions.
It's so funny to be like, hot dog. Just a happy kid.
Yeah.
A hot dog.
I hot dog because I like hot dogs.
Yeah.
And she went,
Oh, it's so crazy.
I bet you'll always
That was-
be like this. That's what it felt like.
That's the origin of Fatty McDoodoo.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers started Fatty McDoodoo.
They really did.
It's crazy. The mean teachers always have mean teacher names.
Yeah, Mrs. Bush. Miss Bush wasn't married, obviously.
I have a thing I carry with me all the time. I think about this quote all the time. And it was in 9th grade, so I was older. And I had a guidance counselor, Miss Eggleston, who, she was awesome. She was nice to me. And then, like, I was just being like, I fucking hate my teachers. All my teachers are mean to me. And I was like, I had no friends. And she just sat me down and was like, you know, Patrick, you're a lot cooler when you're not being cool. And I was like, what? What the fuck? And it like fucked with my mind all throughout. Just the rest of my life. I think about that quote every day. I just wake up and I'm like, I'm a lot cooler when I'm not being cool. I think it was just her being like, stop trying so fucking hard. You're an asshole.
Yeah.
Because I was a shitty little student. But I had bad teachers. Miss Bridge in 1st grade and Miss O'Hare in 3rd grade were my villain teachers.
Why do women hate us?
Yeah, it's older women. It's older women.
Dude, my aunt hates my guts. Dude, one time we went to breakfast and my good friend came along, and after he went, why does your aunt despise you?
You could just read it.
He could just read it.
That's crazy. What happened? What happened on the
Nothing.
Oh, he could just feel her energy.
Yeah, he could. Well, yeah, she was like, she just hates my guts for some reason. I don't know how to change it. I don't know. I don't want to put any more energy into
Wow.
feeling hated.
Mom's side or dad's side?
Can't say.
Oh, okay. Right.
But she just hates and she has, like, for as long as I can remember. I remember.
Did you do something to her?
I mean, unless I did something when I was 7, or if I was a 3-year-old.
Right. Does she have a kid that's your cousin that you like bullied or something?
No. No, we got along pretty well.
You know, it would be funny if she was your real
But
mom.
you know what's funny, though? Is, like, God, I got to cut this out, but.
No, don't cut it out. Keep it in. She's not watching.
No, she's not. She's watching, it's just for information to pile up and use against me.
Yeah, she already hates you. It's not getting any better.
Yeah, that's true. She would turn, because my cousin and I are friends, and she would like try to turn us against each other by like saying stuff to my mom that I had said that I didn't, or like
Weird.
That your cousin said that you actually brought the weed to Thanksgiving. I'm like, hey, I can't be sober around you. You're terrifying.
Yeah. Like psychological shit.
Yeah.
She would try to mentally break you guys down.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Because my older cousin would make me and my younger cousin fight. Like he would just get us in a room and be like, fucking fight each other or I'll beat the shit out of both of you.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's manageable.
But to go and be like, hey, Dylan brought weed and he's blaming you for it. Just a kid being like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you just both hate each other and you don't know why.
Exactly. and then I always thought, what did I do? Yeah. Who's the family member that you never...
My Uncle Ricky.
Why?
He has Asperger's to the 3rd degree.
Oh, well, that's a good excuse.
I think. I don't know. He's just been... Well, he killed a guy. That's... And don't cut this out. He killed a guy. Ricky killed a guy. My Uncle Ricky.
He killed a guy?
Ricky Kanicki, he fucking... Well, this is what happened. This is what my mom told me. My grandfather abused everyone. My grandfather had my mom, her 2 brothers, her 2 sisters, and he just beat the hell out of all of them, beat my grandmother, and was just an abusive prick. And him and my Uncle Ricky would get into it all the time, and he hated him. And he would constantly like work out because he'd be like, I want to kill my dad. Just a kid, just teenage angst. And the second he turned 18, him and 3 of his friends like moved up to Canada. And I guess they were there for like 2 months, 3 months. They had like a cabin up there, and they were all drunk, drinking, hanging out, doing drugs maybe. And 2 of the friends got in a fight. So my Uncle Ricky didn't kill the guy, but 2 of the kids got in a fight, and they were on train tracks, and one of the friends pushed him into the train, and he got like swept by the train and died. And they all, Ricky and his 2 friends just came back to America, and my mom said he didn't speak for like 8 months. He would work out, he'd go in his room and just sit in his room quiet. And he would eat dinner in his room alone. He wouldn't talk to anybody. He never talked to anybody. And then like years later, he told my mom that story.
Did he ever go to jail for it?
No. No.
Is he still out there?
Yeah. He's like a Christian man with like 4 kids and a wife, and and they're the scariest family. They're one of those like dead-eyed like scary families.
Yeah, because their family's built on murder.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's got a good job. He's like he's like a carpenter or something, or an architect, something like that. He builds houses and shit, or he designs houses. It's one of those. But he's one of those just sweater vests. The last time I saw him, 2017 Christmas, he showed up and all of us were like, holy fuck, Ricky's here. Because it was so like, holy shit, we haven't seen Ricky in a fucking dog's age.
What is talking to him like?
Just, he's baffled, because we're so crazy. My family's so Irish and crazy, and he always hated that. Mm-hmm. And he always wanted to be just a content American, or just classic family, like a 50s family.
Yeah, it's always those Puritan families that are like, you killed a guy.
Yeah,
but you killed a guy.
What are you running from?
I cuss at the dinner table. You killed a guy.
You killed a guy, Ricky. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I got mud on my shoes. How about you don't kill a guy?
No, I remember that Christmas. Me and my family, the DePari family, we're just the fucking hellhounds just running amok. And I showed up with a big Frankenstein shirt, and I had a scruffled beard and just long hair in my face. Just a stoner, 17-year-old stoner, like, Thanksgiving. And I was high as fuck, and my older brother Mike was there, and all my brothers, Mike, Chris, and Mark, we were all just fucking crazy. And I remember talking to Ricky and being like, what? I think I walked up to him and I was like, yo, Ricky, what up, dude? And he was like, oh, hey. And he like shook my hand, and I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
And his daughter's a cop now. And
do you think the kids must know that he...
No way. That's one of those stories that my mom told me like drunkenly. Was like, yeah, Uncle Ricky. She was drunk.
Your mom shivers. Yeah, your Uncle Ricky killed a guy.
Yeah, Uncle Ricky killed a guy and your grandmother never loved you. That's the type of shit she would tell me. Although I never met my grandparents, so who knows if they loved me or not.
Dude, I got a wild one.
Hit it.
So, I gotta cut all this episode.
Don't.
Dude, if any of that shit's real, we can't podcast about it.
I confessed about my uncle killing a guy.
Yeah, but that was like, he killed the guy, and that was normal.
He was an accomplice.
If he killed the guy and then left you a bunch of drawings and coded poems.
Dude, there was one time me and my older brother Chris were just going through like attic stuff. Just at my family home in Massachusetts, we have an attic just full of history. Just full of all my grandma's shit. My mom and dad were just hoarders. Just boomer hoarders. They never threw anything away. So when my grandma died, they inherited the house and just threw all of her shit upstairs. They didn't think, oh, let's throw it all away or let's like donate it. They were just like, oh, let's throw it all in the attic. We'll get to it. And it's been like 50 years later. And so my attic is just full of shit. They throw everything in the attic. And me and my brother were just going through a bunch of like binders and shit. And we found just a bunch of naked photos of me and him. And we were both just sitting there like, were we raped? Were we molested? It was just us as like babies. And we were just naked boys. Like up against a wall. Just standing against a wall. And then we showed our mom. We were like, Mom, were we molested? And she was like, you took these of each other. And I was like, no, bro. These are different days. Because like me and
none of our hands are touching a camera.
Neither of us are smiling. It's like you can tell. It's like, whoa.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And then me and my brother just went on a long drive, and we were just laughing about like, wow, we were molested. We were like, holy shit, we were molested.
Who took the photos?
No, we'll never know. We will never know. Unless we were babies, so. But that's the thing is.
But that's normal. It's like.
Here's the thing. Me and my brother are like 6 years apart.
Oh.
And the photos are of both of us as babies. So the photos were taken years later. Years apart.
And these aren't like mixed up with other photos?
No. It was separated? It was just me and him naked. It was just me and him, like a pile of me and him being naked. Just our little baby penises. But we're like toddlers. We're like 4 and 6.
Oh my god.
And we're just sitting there going,
oh my god. Patrick, you might have been
molested. And we laugh about it all the time. I always, like, one of us will just bring it up, like, yo, remember when we found those photos of us?
It's so fucked.
Yeah, it's crazy. But both of us have sat and pondered on it forever, and we're like, neither of us remember anybody taking photos of us.
And none of you are smiling or like, well, the weird thing is they're taken far apart.
Yes.
And they're separated.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like, ooh, here's a car and here's them at the pool and the Easter bunny and then Patrick's naked and then that's our trip on the mountains. It was separated out. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes. Yes.
We're just the naked photos of you taken years apart are in its own separate.
Yes. And the weird thing is it was just me and my brother Chris looking through this like binder, and then there were only pictures of me and Chris. We have 2 other brothers, and there weren't naked pictures of them. It was like a weird like ghost thing to find. Because it was like, what are the odds that we were the 2 who were molested and we were the 2 looking through the attic, and we found this just binder. It was only like 6 photos, but it's a good amount. When you're just looking at the picture going,
and those are the ones in the binder.
Yeah, those are the ones in the binder. Right.
And that's not even counting the ones that were burned years ago.
It could have just been my dad having a bad day. Just get against the wall. I don't think my dad would do that.
Dude, this episode is so dark.
No, it's not. This is humor to the best of it.
Man. Wild.
This is the best of.
we had a pedophile next door to us, 2 doors down, and he would always try to look at there's this like neighbor girl, and he would always try to like watch her because they had a hot tub, so he'd just watch her when she went into the hot tub, and they had to like intervene.
No way.
Yeah, we had a couple.
Wait, how old was she? She was like a kid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She was like maybe a year younger than me.
How would he watch her? Like over a fence?
No, he was just in his house, and one of his windows faced the backyard.
Oh.
And their back porch. Yeah.
Creepy as hell.
And then we had like a pedophile guitar teacher. And he had these things called Mickey Bucks. and Mickey Bucks were when you did something good. And it was so funny because and the Mickey Bucks you could like he would be like, have a soda with me alone. Like shit like that.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny because I was in this band. We were like in 4th or 5th grade. And we would leave this guy's house, and the four of us kids were like, "This guy's weird." And then my friend's dad, meanwhile, was like, I always remember this conversation. We're walking back from this like clearly a pedophile.
Who would just invite you? He'd see you all alone and just invite you in his house?
Yeah, so we're being walked back from there. And I remember this conversation clear as day. Because they were never like, oh, that guy's... They're like, oh, that guy's a strange fella. But then the one conversation that stuck with me is he was walking us back to the house. And he turned to us and he said, you boys know that gay people or people started bands so they could be gay with each other.
What?
Yeah. He said that's why people started bands, is so they could be gay with each other. And anyway, we'll drop you off next week to this pedophile's house so he can give you hand-drawn Mickey bucks. They were hand-drawn scraps of paper with a bad Mickey Mouse drawn on them.
Like
And you could redeem them for alone time with this fucking 60-year-old.
Holy shiz.
But then he's
That's
like,
crazy.
hey, but you guys know bands are gay, right? You know the Beatles? Bunch of hobos.
And you would all like hang out in his house?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. That's fucking crazy.
Luckily, there was 4 of us. But
Right.
there's this, one of them,
Did
one of
any-
my friends, he liked a lot.
Oh no.
Yeah,
he
and he's
cash
like,
in?
you should come over for private lessons. God, dude.
I'll teach you how to play the flute.
Yeah.
Did he? Did any of you cash in the Mickey bucks?
I think I tore mine.
Because you knew.
I was just like, this guy's creepy
That's
as fuck.
crazy.
Well, the first day he came up to me, because I was the vocalist of the band, because obviously I'm the lead.
Yeah.
And he goes up to me, and it's like he had a personal vendetta, because he was not the front man,
Yeah, he won.
and also like 60 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me first day, he's like, hey, no one's going to care what you do. It's all about the music. If you mess up the vocals, guess what? Nobody cares. They're there for the music, all right?
Oh my goodness.
He was like, yeah, you get it.
And you're like 10 years old?
Yeah, he's like, you understand what I just said, Kevin? I mean, Dylan. Like someone had done that to him,
Yeah.
you know?
Weird.
And I was like, hey, I'm 8. I wasn't getting into the band for power purposes.
Yeah. That's bizarre.
I remember we did 2 shows. One of them was at my art. It was like we had this class called Assets,
mm-hmm.
and they were how to teach you to be a good person. One of our main people that we studied was Tiger Woods, of like this outstanding member of society. So every week our teacher would be like, Tiger Woods is just the best. You kids should be like Tiger Woods.
That's great.
Which was hilarious years later.
Right.
But so we did a performance in her class, and we did Brain Stew by Green Day.
Interesting.
And my band members were like, hey, Dylan, we're doing Brain Stew by Green Day in 5 minutes. And I went, I've never heard that song. And they're like, it's okay. Here are the lyrics. They just handed me a piece of paper. And I didn't know the rhythm.
Right.
Or
You're
whatever.
Just reading.
So I remember I was so nervous about it. And then they started. And of course it's, 7, 8-year-olds doing music. So it's not like they're good either.
Right.
But I was the front man, so I had my paper, and I said, my eyes feel like they're gonna bleed. Like
I'm having trouble trying to sleep.
yeah.
That's great.
And so I just started crying and singing Brain Stew. Way off tempo, way not the mood.
It's so funny. Where was this? You're at your
My elementary school in assets class
just in front of a class?
in front of a class. I found out like 5 minutes before that I was A, in a band, and B, doing this song. A song I had never heard. And I just remember crying so much in front of everybody.
That's so good.
The second show we did is the one we practiced for a lot, and it was the talent show. I believe it was the 5th grade talent show. It was like a big deal.
Hell yeah.
For elementary school. So we learned All the Small Things by Blink-182.
Mm-hmm.
And
classic. What a hit.
we practiced with the pedophile guy, and he got us good enough.
Right.
And so it's the day of the show, and we go up, and I have a Good Charlotte hat.
Nice.
And because I loved Good Charlotte as a kid. And I remember, I mean, the song was just awful. But, you know, I was going, all the small things to care. And she left me roses by the stairs. Surprises let me know she cares. And so no one's enthused. There's just an audience of children and some adults, and everyone's crisscross applesauce, like paced out the stairs. And I had always seen people throw a hat, and the the audience member catches the hat because they're so stoked that the lead, threw the and so I take off my Good Charlotte hat and I throw it into the crowd, and no one catches it. And then everyone
No one even cared.
No one cared. And then everyone left, and the hat was still there.
Just no one gave a fuck.
No.
Did people just watch it fall? Just people being like, oh.
Yeah.
I threw his hat. I wonder why he did that.
Yeah. Everyone was like, why did he throw his hat at us?
Did you retrieve it after?
Yeah, because no one took it. No one took the...
Was there like a pop when you when you did it? Was everyone like, woo?
No, everyone was more like, why would you do that? Why would you throw a hat at us?
Just watching everyone be like,
yeah.
Why did you do that?
Yeah.
It was a weird addition to the performance.
Yeah. So I was always doing music.
Yeah. Interesting. And then you guys broke up?
Yeah, I got kicked out of the band.
No shit.
Yeah, in 6th grade. I was at recess, and one of them just kind of bombarded me. It was my good friend Andrew, and I see Andrew walking towards me. I was like in a field, and I was like, "Hey, Andrew," and he's like, "Dylan." And I said, "Hey, Andrew," because he was still far away.
Yeah.
And they got up to me and said, "So yeah, you're out of the band."
Just threw it right at you.
Yeah. You're not
Good
good.
for Andrew. I bet he's like a fucking CEO of a company now. What a...
No,
Just-
he's very much not.
Oh, really? You've kept tabs on Andrew?
Andrew is one of my best friends.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. He's
Was he
probably my
warning-
longest friend. He's like my best friend.
Was he warning you, or was it like his decision? Was he like,
I
sorry,
think it
man,
was-
the rest of the band wants you out?
He didn't say sorry. He was just like, look, you suck. And you're out of the band.
Who replaced you?
I forget. I think it
It'd
was
be
just,
funny if the pedophile replaced. We're bringing in the pedophile.
Say it ain't so. I will not go. Turn the lights off. Make sure your parents aren't home.
Come have a soda with me in my backyard.
Everyone redeem your Mickey bucks.
I got a hot tub too. Come over if you want us. Hang out with me. I lost it.
Yeah. So did he.
He lost his damn mind.
He lost his damn
That's
mind.
crazy.
Yeah, so I got kicked out of the band, and I was so mad.
What happened with the guy? What happened with the pedophile?
He just kept on doing what he was doing.
Kept on keeping on.
He just, yeah.
No one really stopped him.
No.
That was the weird thing about back then is back in like the
There's
80s,
a lot
90s,
bigger emphasis on pointing out pedophiles these
Mhm.
days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's that whole like website where you could look it up.
I guess we had Chris Hansen.
Right. Yeah, that really
He was the one who started it.
that really switched it. Yeah, we had a pedophile in our neighborhood because we had that website where you like look it up and you look up the map and there's just red dots everywhere.
Yeah.
But there was only one. and he lived right next to our middle school. Just like literally.
I thought that was like illegal.
Yeah, I thought it was illegal too. But like when you're exiting the middle school, he was just the one house over, and he rode a unicycle around town. He just rode a unicycle around town.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, and I would always, like, me and my, like, neighbor friend would always just be walking around as kids, and he would drive by us and be like, "Hey, kids!" And we'd be like, "Ah!" And we'd just run from him. And then there was one time me and a bunch of neighborhood kids got together, and we put a note. We made a little note that just said, "We know." And we just put it on his door.
Wow.
We just put it on like his stoop and we ran away. And then we went back like a couple hours later and it was gone. And we were like, oh, he knows we know.
No, he's probably just
Yeah.
smelling it.
They know. They want me.
That's so nuts, dude.
Yeah. We ding dong ditched him a couple times and I would have like panic attacks about it.
Oh, yeah, because that's actually terrifying.
Yeah. Because it would be like if we ring the bell and he just opens the fucking door and he's like, gotcha. I had a reoccurring nightmare when I found out there was a pedophile who lived in our neighborhood. I had a reoccurring nightmare for like a month where my parents would be like, hey, go get the mail. You're allowed. Like, you run up to the mailbox and get the mail. And I'd be like, oh, awesome. And I would run up to the mailbox and then he would show up in a truck and he would have like a big, like, like SpongeBob jellyfish net. He would just have a giant net and he would swoop me up in it and just be walking to his truck. And I would just be in the net being like, Mom! Mom! As he just threw me in the back of his truck in this net.
Adults were so crazy. I mean, there's pedophiles too, but then adults just feel like they kind of like own kids. Because I remember one time we had a snow day and I was with this guy, Mark, and we were the youngest of like the neighborhood kid group. So we were the young ones. And our older brothers like were throwing a snowball, and I guess the snowball hit this guy's car.
One of these situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're like, run! And so we all ran, but Mark and I were homies, and we like just stuck together. And we just hid in an open garage, and he found us immediately, and he just like took us out, and he was like,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Insane.
we were just like, we were like the kids who shouldn't have been. We weren't even in on it. We were just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we were just like in the background trying to hang.
Right.
Yeah, but he caught us, and then eventually, this guy was such a jerk that all the parents like turned on him and like.
Wow.
But he was just yelling in our faces and like pointing.
That's insane. Yeah. Yeah. Adults used to just discipline any kid that was around.
Yeah.
Nowadays, if you did that, somebody would be like, what the fuck's happening here?
Yeah.
But yeah, that used to just be a thing of like, oh, I'll discipline you.
Yeah.
It's like the weirdest. Like,
Weird.
Imagine if you just saw a kid and he was like throwing rocks, so you ran up to him and were like, do you know the consequences of throwing rocks? Just in his face.
Yeah.
Just a terrified kid.
Yeah. And it was like clearly
That'd be
not
insane.
him and I, because Mark and I were just standing next to each other going, like, trying to be quiet.
Yeah, I remember one time I was on a walk with my neighbor friend, and we were just walking around the block, and there was this dude with just a big redneck guy who lived down the street. He had a NASCAR flag, an American flag outside of his house, and a big truck, and his son was outside, and his son was older than us. His son was probably like 4 or 5 years older than us. And I remember just walking by and being like, "Yo," and I just flipped him off. I was just like. And he ran inside, and I was like, "Oh, all right." I guess I offended him. And then me and my friend got home. We were about to walk inside, and we just heard fucking, and his giant truck like pulled up on our lawn, and he got out, and he was like, this giant fucking hick, this big redneck dude, jacked, like 6'4", huge guy. He got out of his car, and he's like, "You wanna flip my fucking son off?" Screaming. And running down the yard, and I remember being like, and just freaking out and running inside. And as I was running inside, and he was like, "Oh, now you're running." I was like, "What is going on?" And I ran inside, and I was like, "Mom, Mom!" like freaking out. And luckily, my mom ran outside and got in his face and was like, "You motherfucker!" and started freaking out at him. And he kind of cooled off and was like,
Yeah, he wasn't ready for a Bostonian.
No, just a Bostonian Irish woman.
Yeah.
You motherfucker! My favorite quote of my mom is she always said, "Fuck me, fuck you." She said that anytime anybody would even slightly inconvenience her, she would go like 10 times harder and say, "Fuck me, fuck you." Just the most
Mom.
mom.
Dude, that rules.
Yeah.
I remember one time this kid, I don't know if we've already discussed this, but there was this kid in my neighborhood. I went over to play at his house, and he accidentally pushed me, and I came back home, and I think I had like a cut on me or whatever. And she's like, "Who did this to you?" And I was like, "Yeah, Kyle, Kyle pushed me." and she literally, because he lived down the street, she got a golf club and went to the kid's house.
With you? Did
No,
she bring you?
alone.
Just gone.
She was at the front door, I guess. And she was, and like I think like the mom answered the door.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Where is he?" I was like 5. Like, "Where is he? Where is he?" And she's like, "Let me talk to him." And the mom was like, "No, you psycho!" Like,
I'm bringing out my 5-year-old son.
What were you gonna do, Mom? You were gonna beat this kid to death with a golf club?
It would be so funny if the mom was just like, "Oh, right away, I'll go grab my kid." Where is he?
How much you want to bet one hit you hit the fucking ground?
2 hits, me hitting you hitting the fucking ground. And you had just like a minor
I'm
cut.
Tiger Woods. I'm Tiger Woods.
You just had a little cut. It wasn't. Was it? Were you like?
Yeah, no,
busted
he was
open?
like a totally innocent kind of, like at most it was like he pushed me.
Yeah. I fell over.
Yeah.
Wow. There was one time my mom, I was hanging out with all the neighborhood kids, and there was this kid, Ryan Nelson. Just the worst.
Terrible name.
Just annoying. You know, the annoying friend that everyone's like, "Oh, he's here.
Yeah.
Great. Here comes fucking Ryan." And he had rich parents, so he had everything. Like, he was like, "I already got the Xbox 360," and it like hadn't come out yet.
Ours was Alex.
Alex.
Go ahead.
But I would orchestrate everyone. There's one day that I just got everyone together, and I was like, "Hey, every time Ryan walks up, let's all just run in separate directions." And then we would meet up at a different point, and we just made like 2 key points of like running, like dispersing, and then reuniting over here. And then when he would show up, we'd disperse and reunite over here. So we did that like 6 times, and eventually he was just bawling his eyes out, crying. And he went home and he told his mom, and then he told this other kid's mom. I mean, I guess those 2 moms were close, so they got together and were like, "Patrick's bullying our kids." And they showed up to my door, and my mom opened the door and was like, "What's going on?" They were like, "Your son is bullying our son." And my mom was like, "What? Patrick, get down here." And then she pulled me outside and was like, What's happening? Explain to me." And they explained the situation. And my mom went, "That's it? Get the fuck off my fucking lawn right now," and just started screaming at them. And she like hugged me, and she was like, "I have a good fucking boy here, and because your kids are fucking pussies, you want to come and intimidate me, motherfucker?" And just like screaming at them. And me and my brothers were like, "Whoa." And then she was like, she called the moms like ugly, and she was like, "You raised a bunch of pussies. My son's better than you. I'm going to make him fucking ice cream tonight." And then I remember my brother Mark took his shirt off and did this in the window. and the mom flipped him off. It was fun. It was a fun time.
That's great.
But yeah, my mom always had my back and shit like that,
That's
which is pretty dope.
that rules.
Yeah, we had mama bears,
We had mama bears
and mean teachers.
and mean teachers, dude.
Mama bears and mean teachers.
Miss Bush.
Dude, I had Miss O'Hare, my first grade teacher. She was so mean to me. There was one time, I don't even remember what I did, but she was in my face, like with the finger, just the finger like pressing my cheek, like red face being like, you fucking did that. Like evil old lady screaming in my face. And I used to do this thing where I would break up the lead in a pencil and I would rub it on my eye so that it looked like I had a black eye, so that they would send me to the nurse so that I could just get the fuck away from her. And I did it all the time. And then they eventually were like, are you being beat at home? And they thought they called social services on us because I had a black eye every other day. And then eventually the nurse rubbed it with a cloth and was like, what the fuck? She was like, and she literally brought in other teachers to be like, look at this. His black eye is wiping off. She didn't understand that it was just lead. And she was in shock, and they brought the science teacher in to be like, what? They thought they had found a new fucking strain of a disease or something. But yeah,
just your lead.
yeah. But I think the teacher was so bad, and I wasn't wrong. It was one of those situations where I wasn't in the wrong, and they actually moved me to a different class. After 3 months, they actually put me in a new classroom with a different teacher.
It's crazy to me that people can be in charge of first graders, kindergartners, and be that mean. What do you have to be in your personal life where you go, ha ha ha, I get to be mean to 5-year-olds today?
Yeah, truly. And it's like a that's like a trope in movies. It's like a famous an old lady being mean to kids.
Yeah.
That's just a famous thing.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they never had kids and they resent kids for that.
I remember I had this yeah, never mind.
No, go for it.
No. Yeah, it's crazy that it's that was always my question. What did I do to you? I'm this young, so really anything I do kind of isn't my fault.
Right. But it's also the lead poisoning generation.
They got poisoned with lead. We got no lead in our pencils.
No, that's what I'm saying is they all have lead poisoning, so they're they have worms eating their brains.
Yeah, it's kind of not their fault either.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's all the government.
Yeah.
It's when you really break it down, Nixon did it to everybody.
Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon's to blame.
Well, guys, Richard Nixon is to blame.
Richard Nixon's to blame.
Thanks for coming on another episode of SMUDGEHAWKS. We're sorry we've been gone for so long, but we're really excited to be back and be here with you. So we'll catch you next week. And smudge out, SMUDGEHAWKS.
Smudge out, smudgies.